Sports Guy Ron. I'm here with your Week 6 preview and Thursday night football recap. In the first game of the week, we have the Denver Broncos who come in at 3-2. They are 7-point favorites against the New York Jets, who are 0-5. This is the 9:30 game that starts Eastern. Is in London. The New York Jets, the defense has no takeaways through the first 5 games. I think that's some sort of record that they don't want. The question of the game: can the New York defense play like Denver's? They haven't been. They came into the season with a good reputation, but they haven't played up to that. They've given up a lot of points. And Denver's defense looks really terrific right now. Teams in international games favored by 4+ points are 16-9. And for all them reasons and plus the Jets just aren't doing enough to win games, I'm going to take Denver for the win and Denver to cover the spread. In the next game, we have Seattle. They are 3-2. They're going to Jacksonville 4-1. Jacksonville is a 1.5-point favorite. Jacksonville's 5th-ranked rush versus the Seattle defense, which is their third best against the rush. Jacksonville has 14 takeaways, most in the NFL. Seattle, they've won their last 8 road games. Well, so far it's been the bane of my existence this season, but I'm going to pick against Jacksonville again. Seattle's road record, Jacksonville coming off of that emotional game against Kansas City. The short rest kind of makes up for Seattle having to travel across country, which doesn't seem to bother them, so I'm taking the Seahawks to win and to cover the spread. In the next game, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. They're 3-2. They are 4-point favorites at Miami, 1-4. Odafe Oweh. He was traded from the Baltimore Ravens to the Chargers to help their pass rush. So we'll see how that works out for them. Mike McDaniel, 3-14 against teams with winning records. Those don't bode well for Miami. I'm going to take the LA Chargers to win and cover the spread. In what looked to be a much more interesting game, before all the injuries, we have the LA Rams 3-2. They are 7-point favorites at Baltimore, 1-4. Boy, Baltimore is decimated by injuries. Matt Stafford leads the NFL in passing yards. Roquan Smith, Lamar Jackson is out for the Ravens. The Rams are 5-0 against the spread as road favorites since last year. All those things say to me, and the effort they put up against Houston last week, I got to take LA to win and to cover. And the next game, Arizona. They are 2-3 at Indianapolis, 4-1. Indianapolis is favored by 7 points. Can Arizona bounce back from their meltdown last week? Indianapolis, they are second in the NFL at scoring at 32.6 points per game. Kyler Murray, though, as a road dog, 22-7-1 against the spread. You got to like those numbers, but I'm going to take Indianapolis to win and to cover the spread. In the next game, we have Dallas. They are 2-1. They are 3-point favorites at Carolina, and they are 2-3. Is this Rico's revenge? Rico Dowdle is going to be playing for Carolina. Chuba Hubbard is back. He had over 200 yards last week, coming from Dallas last season. Will he get some revenge against his old team? Dallas scoring and allowing 30+ points a game each. They score and allow 30+ points. That's going to be an interesting combination. There should be a lot of points in this game. Dak Prescott, 0-4 against the spread as a favorite, but 49-36-2 in his career in the same amount in those same numbers as a favorite. I'm going to take Dallas to win and to cover this game. I think Dallas is just going to be able to outscore Carolina, and that's going to be enough to cover. In the next game, we have New England. They are 3-2. They are 3.5-point favorites at New Orleans, 1-4. Can New England avoid a letdown after the big game against Buffalo last week? That's a good question. Alvin Kamara is questionable for the game for New Orleans. He's a big part of their offense. One of the things I'm surprised about is Travion Henderson hasn't been a bigger part of what New England's been doing. Can they get him going in this game on the turf in New Orleans? I think that's a possibility. Let's see what happens there. I'm going to take New England to win. I am going to take New Orleans to cover the 3.5, keep it to a field goal game. They've been pretty competitive and frisky compared to what I thought they might be. I think that Kendre Miller will be enough to cover for Kamara if he doesn't end up playing. So I'm going to take New Orleans to cover the spread. In the next game, we have Cleveland. They are 1-4. The Browns are at Pittsburgh. They are 2-2. No, they're not. They're 3-1. Okay, I changed that. Pittsburgh is 3-1. Pittsburgh is 5.5-point favorites at home. Cleveland, 10 straight games scoring 17 points or less. That's not a good stat. Pittsburgh, 8 straight victories after a bye. That's also not a good stat for Cleveland. Cleveland, schedule cruelty. Here's what I mean by that. They had to play on the road at Detroit. Then they had to go across the pond to London to play Minnesota Vikings. They come home, they don't get a bye like most teams get after being overseas. They have to go on the road again for a third straight game at Pittsburgh. It doesn't seem fair. Other teams have had bad scheduling quirks lately. I know Pittsburgh's last 8 games last year was a joke. I don't know if it's an AFC North thing or the NFL just doesn't like everybody there all of a sudden or what, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh, obviously, with these advantages, and just they're a better team. You have a rookie quarterback going on the road. You got to take Pittsburgh to win and to cover. There are reasons that Cleveland should be able to keep it close. But the defense especially, and the running game with Quinshon Judkins, but I just don't think so. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win and to cover. In the first 4 o'clock game, we have Tennessee. They are 1-4 at Las Vegas, also 1-4. Las Vegas is favored by 4.5. I'm going to take Las Vegas to win the game, but I'm taking Tennessee to cover the 4.5 points. It just seems like a lot for Vegas. Tennessee, Cam Ward, he played really well in the fourth quarter. He did not play well before that. Can he build on that in this game? I think it's a favorable matchup for him as long as they can keep Max Crosby off of him constantly. Las Vegas, will Geno Smith limit his mistakes? He's been making a lot of them, throwing the ball around a lot at bad places. So I don't think... I think he needs to play a lot better. They might even consider putting Kenny Pickett in. Tennessee has not covered back-to-back games since weeks 1 and 2 of 2023. That's the reason that I shouldn't take them, but I'm going to take them in this spot just because of Vegas's. Brock Bowers is likely still out, I believe. And they still have some weapons, and they have Genty, but I'm going to take Tennessee to keep it to a field goal game. In the next game, a real interesting game. San Francisco 4-1 at Tampa Bay 4-1. Tampa's favored by 3. All the games by these teams, both of them, have been decided by 6 points or less so far this season. So you figure it's a close game. 49ers, 4 straight wins versus Tampa. And 49ers got a lot of guys questionable to play. Jawan Jennings, Pearsall, who I don't think is going to play. Purdy's questionable. Mac Jones is questionable. We already know Bosa and Kill are out. For those reasons, even though Tampa has some injuries of their own, Chris Godwin is not playing. Mike Evans is still out. Bucky Irving is still out. I think Tampa has enough to win and to cover. I'm not very confident on this one, I got to say, but I'm going to take them. Somehow Baker's been getting it done. I think they do it again this time. The next game, Cincinnati, they're 2-3. They are at Green Bay, who's 2-1-1. Green Bay are 14.5-point favorites. I don't know why, but I'm going to take Cincinnati with 14.5 points. I'm going to take Green Bay to win, though. You got Joe Flacco starting, or I'm wondering which Green Bay team's going to show up. The one that was dominant the first 2 weeks, or the one that laid an egg in Cleveland, or the one that gave up 40 points to Dallas. It's hard to say with Green Bay right now. They're likely to either win it 40-7 or, maybe squeak one out like 24-21. Who knows? I'm going to just take Cincinnati to cover 14.5. It's more than 2 touchdowns. Cincinnati, they're also 1-4 against the spread this year and 0-3 on the road, which does not bode well for me. I'm just thinking 14.5 is just too much. In the next game, a very interesting game. Detroit 4-1 at Kansas City 2-3. Kansas City's 2.5-point favorites. Hard for me to believe Kansas City's going to go to 2-4, although it could happen with the way Detroit's been playing. We have Jared Goff versus Mahomes. I think I saw a stat where Jared Goff is the only quarterback that Mahomes has played more than one time in his career and not defeated yet. So he's going to be looking to do that. The Lions are really banged up in their secondary. I know Terrion Arnold's out. Branch is questionable. The other safety's questionable. They have offensive line injuries. I just think Kansas City at home, they owe them from opening game 2 seasons ago when Detroit went in there and won in the opening week. So I'm going to say Kansas City wins and covers the 2.5. Monday night, we have Buffalo. They are 4-1. They are 4.5-point favorites at Atlanta, 2-2. The Bills, they make a lot of explosive plays. That's, I believe, 10-yard plus rushes and 20-yard plus passes. They're second in the league versus the Falcons defense, which has given up the second fewest. The Atlanta defense, they have given up the fewest passing yards per game this season in the NFL. Buffalo, they have 5 straight wins, or 5 straight. Oh, that's Bijan Robinson, sorry. Bijan, 5 straight with 100 scrimmage yards. So he's been getting it done on the ground and catching the ball. I have Buffalo winning. I have Atlanta covering the 4.5. I think they'll keep it to a 3 or 4 point game. So that's my prediction for the first Monday night game. The second one, another interesting game. The Chicago Bears 2-2 at Washington Commanders 3-2. Washington's 4.5-point favorites. You've got Bill Krosky-Merritt versus the Chicago run defense, which is 31st in the league, so it's not very good. Chicago 8-15 as a road dog. That's not very good either. Washington, they've got a lot of banged up skill guys. I think Debo's questionable but likely to play. I know that McLaurin looks like he's out. So, I mean, they have skilled guys that are banged up. We'll see, but I think they'll be able to do enough to win and to cover. We have Minnesota and Houston on bye this week. In the Thursday night game, it was quite a surprise. The New York Giants improved to 2-4 as they beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who now are 4-2, 34-17. I took the L on that game. Cam Scatterbo had a really big game. 19 carries, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Philly turned the ball over 2 times. Dallas Goedert has continued his big season. Jalen Hurts isn't getting really getting the ball to the wide receivers, and they're not very happy about it. But Dallas Goedert has been putting up numbers. 9 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Third down efficiency. New York, 11 of 16 on third downs against the Philly defense. That's not a good stat for them. Philadelphia was 1 of 9 against them on third down. I think they were against the Giants on third down. I think they were like 3 of 3 on fourth down, but still 1 of 9 on third down. You're not going to win many games like that. Philly, they were down the whole first half. They actually took the lead 17-14 or 17-13, something like that. But then, man, the Giants, touchdown. It was just crazy. So, impressive game by the Giants. It looks like they have a quarterback. Jackson Dart looks like he's going to be able to be good enough for that team. So that was a good draft pick by the Giants. They had a good draft this year too. Scatabo came in that with him. So that's going to help set them up for years to come. Hopefully they'll be improved. If Neighbors comes back next year, you got to look out for them a little bit, make some noise in the East. Okay, so that's my preview and my recap for week 6. If you like this video, please give it a like. Maybe think about subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.